Welcome to another episode of Rooted in the Community, a podcast where we sit down with local small business leaders in St. Pete community to discuss not just their business growth, but the give back and growth that they contribute to the community every day. I, again, am Mike Wagner, Chief Lending Officer and broker owner of Green Oak Lending Group, a residential mortgage brokerage serving Florida and Michigan with community focus in the St. Pete area. I want to give a shout out to Naming Creative, Josh and Jordan. Always do a great job recording us. I love these guys to death. And then Sun Leaders as well with Josh. And one of my other great partners, Eric Nutting, the growth coach. So excellent people to deal with. That's where you can listen to these podcasts. Alexis. We have Alexis Guilbeau on. I've been so very excited to actually have an interview with her. We've gotten it pushed back a couple of times due to some acts of God recently in Florida. But Alexis Guilbeau is a financial advisor with Raymond James. She also is president of the Park Center for Disability Next Generation Board, heavily involved in networking and volunteering in our community. Alexis, how are you?
I'm great, Mike. I'm glad we're finally doing this.
I know. A huge pushback due to a couple of hurricanes, Helene and Milton, that hit our area within the past 3 weeks. And really, for the first time in a long time in Tampa Bay, really rocked us. I mean, it's been a bit disastrous. We've had a lot of people misplaced and displaced from their homes, and you know, it's really been something. But what I've really noticed, and I just want to always shed the best amount of light on something like this we can, is how many folks in our community have reached out to me personally, including the two people in this room, and to so many others, and how I see us help each other rebuild and get ready to move forward. So I really feel like this is strengthening us in a weird way to be even tighter and grow even better together as a community. How about you? What have been your thoughts over the past 3 weeks? I know it's been wild.
Yeah, Mike, it's been, it's to some extent been the strangest few weeks, maybe ever. It's been stressful. It's been gut-wrenching. It's been guilt-ridden to some extent because my family, my house did fine. And so many of my friends, so many of my colleagues, and so many people in this community were not quite as lucky. But you're right. I think what's really been impactful is seeing how the community has come together. I mean, I've seen people leave from ripping out floors in their own home to go straight to someone else's house to help them do the same thing. I'm from South Louisiana, and so we have this thing called the Cajun Army. Obviously, we get a lot of hurricanes down there, and when anything happens like that, the Cajun Army just kind of comes together, and I've been thinking about that a lot these last few weeks. I feel like we should call them the Sunshine Army. That's
awesome. I absolutely love that. Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot, but at the same time, we do have an army down here, and we are rebuilding, so it's just been unbelievable. So South Louisiana is where you grew up. So kind of tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about where you grew up, your family, and really how you came in your journey here to St. Petersburg.
Yeah, so I grew up in South Louisiana, big Cajun family, great food. I do miss it sometimes, but there's a few good Cajun places here. I went to school at Millsaps College in Jackson, Mississippi. Never thought that I'd spend 7 years in Mississippi, I can tell you that. Moved to Austin, which is where I met my husband, where I started at Raymond James, and he went back to school to get a new degree during COVID. So when he graduated, I made him think it was his idea to move to St. Petersburg and get a job at Raymond James home office. So we moved here about 2 years ago. We did not know a soul. We had never been here. We got the jobs, or Cooper got the job. I got my transition after we moved here. And we visited one time for 2 days. Found a house, packed up all of our stuff, and drove the 16 hours to get here. I can't believe it's only been 2 years.
Wild.
Right?
Wild. And you fell in love. You saw it and fell in love. 2 days.
Yeah, I fell in love. I think when we first started to come here, we thought, well, maybe it'll just be temporary. We'll just be there for a few years. And we bought a house this year. My husband's talking about schools, and we don't even have kids. So I have a feeling that we're going to be here for a long while.
Definitely planted your roots, which is awesome. Similar experience too. I visited in 2018, and I think about it. I'm like, I can't believe it's nearly been 7 years, right? Like 6.5 years right now. Same thing. I came down on a broker visit with UWM and fell in love. 6 months later, I'm like, bam, we're here. What happens from here, right? And it's been an adventure.
Yeah, I really think it's the home that I've been looking for a long time. I think it's if you don't count college, I think it's the first time in a while where I feel like I have this true community and chosen family around me. And to your point, it's nice to be around these people who just want to uplift their chosen family.
100%. And, I was going to talk about networking a little later. However, I feel we're gonna switch it up and tie it in right now, because I feel like this ties in when you talk about that family and these people that uplift us. It's funny. It's like, I got into the chamber about 1.5 years ago now. We've known each other for about a year, I believe. A little over a year.
Yeah.
Time's crazy.
Wow. It's only been a year?
It's only been a year. It seems like 10 years. I mean, it does, though.
Feels like I've known you for a really long time.
Well, we hang out a lot, right?
Yeah.
And we work on a lot of things together. And we have this whole group. We've got, Alexis Guilbeau with the law firm of Douglas G. Jackson, Dan the payroll man, and Douglas, and we have all these great humans in our lives. And it's like, I agree. I can't say I've felt like this since, my teams back in my mortgage days at Quicken Loans and United Wholesale. And that was maybe 10, 12 guys and girls where, this is like hundreds of people that we meet and get to deal with every day that are all very like-minded. So I absolutely love it. You got into networking, and then you kind of just grabbed the reins. You just attacked and went at it, which is what you got to do. I got to tell you, I mean, you handled it the right way. What's been your experience with that? And who are the people that have made a difference for you while you're, going through that journey to build your business?
Yeah, for me, networking originally was more about developing those personal relationships above the professional, because like I said, I didn't know a single person when I got here. And when you're an adult, it's like, how do you make friends? How do you find people to be a part of your life in a new city, in a new place? And so I took my grandmother's advice and I just said yes to everything. I did something that scared me every day. And Park was one of those things. I was scouring the chamber boards, the event pages on a daily basis and just registering for everything. And then I went to a Park 70th anniversary event and I was sold. And then I really do believe that that's who introduced me to you, who introduced me to Alexis. And then you guys introduced me to the St. Pete Chamber. And then I got introduced to Edge. And so it just all kind of culminates and then Sun Leaders. And then before you know it, you're, so many amazing people in the community, and you're getting to work on so many different things with people who are important to you and organizations that are important to you.
Yeah, it's a wild experience. I've never seen anything like it in Michigan. We don't have that with our loan officers up there, where they have a chamber and then they have volunteer givebacks that are just so readily available with so many people wanting to help. And it's cool. We see a lot of the core groups of people that we know at the same events stay top of mind, but we're always meeting new people too and bringing them in and making them feel welcome. And that's really what it's about. Like you said, you want to know the person as a whole. And I love that. Like with your clients, you want to know everything about them. You want it to be a relationship, not just a transaction. And I feel like we don't treat each other like transactions. It's great.
Well, and we've talked about how it kind of feels like we're in college again, in the sense that we all have different majors, but we belong to some of the same clubs. And we do all these projects together, and we really have developed, or I guess we've been invited into being a part of this amazing community.
100%. We've been invited in, and now all of us are really, welcomed. 100%. And now we're building in that too, which is amazing. Not just building after these hurricanes, but literally building something special.
After Helene, that's what was really incredible to me. Before I even woke up after Helene, Alexis Guilbeau was already on her way to St. Pete. By the time lunch happened, the drives were ready. And it was really incredible to see everybody roll up their sleeves so quickly and so profoundly. And for now, 3 going on who knows how many weeks.
100%. And even like Liam with Transparent Benefit Solutions, I swear to God, I watch this. This guy checked in on me daily. Love the guy. On top of it, every
He's
time
still
I looked
been
at
doing
Facebook,
daily check-ins for me. Yeah.
See, he does all of that. And then where have you not seen him in the past 3 weeks? He's helping somebody every day somewhere. He's offered his home for showers and laundry.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's just one of so many incredible people we know that's what they're doing right now to rebuild and help, because we know it's going to be worth it. So absolutely amazing. So that brings us then into what you actually do. You're a financial advisor, which is, I love talking real estate. I love talking finances.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get to do that on this show. This is going to be a good one. So you're doing that and you're with Raymond James. First off, how's your experience so far with Raymond James been?
Raymond James is an incredible company. I've worked at a number of different firms throughout my career, and Raymond James is truly where I feel most at home. Their culture is incredible. It's part of the reason that I really encouraged my husband to get a job at Raymond James, because I wanted to come to home office and be a part of the bigger culture. And I would say a recent representation of that is with these hurricanes. After Helene, Raymond James gave financial support to every single associate in every single affected county of Hurricane Helene. And then when Milton came around, they did the same thing. They gave every single associate at Raymond James financial support. They opened up the doors for people to bring their families in. If they needed electricity, they needed food, they needed hot showers. And then throughout this week, they have opened up a food pantry for people to come and get the groceries or the supplies that they need. They've been feeding us for free coffee. They really do practice what they preach. And one of their core values is people first. And I think that's why I was always so attracted to that culture and wanted to be a part of Raymond James.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Huge give back to the community, especially right now when it matters the most. Plus, they do a lot of donating as well constantly. They love St. Pete.
They're really wonderful. They practice what they preach. We've got a great community impact team. It's run by 3 people, if you can believe that. The amount of work that those wild. 3 people do is really incredible. Andrea, Sarah, and Lindsay. And with Park, even, they recently donated $750,000 for their new Children's Services Center. And man, it's a great company to be a part of.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the cool thing about you, though, that I find as well, though, is that you work for a large company, which is awesome, backs everything, has great culture, loves their employees. I mean, that's incredible what they've done for hurricane relief for the associates. It's incredible. But you run your business like your own financial advisor. Yeah. It's you. I mean, these are your clients. You're just using Raymond James's resources to help make the best decisions for them. And you do it a little differently. I know that, right? Which is awesome. I mean, between the networking and everything else, I don't know many financial advisors that leave their office during the day. So kind of take us on a day in the life, on how you kind of set it up and how you kind of manage your clients and how you kind of manage your time with networking. And, what do you do all day?
Well, at our core, we are a relationship business. And I really try to veer away from being transactional because money is the most important thing in people's lives. It funds their homes, it funds their necessities, but it also funds their dreams and their goals and their children's education. And so I really pride myself on trying to get to know the whole person before making any recommendations. I joke all the time that my process is we start with a discovery meeting, and I joke that it's like an interrogation. I'm gonna throw a million questions at you. You're gonna look at me and be like, "Why are you asking me that?" And the thing is, our experiences with money very much determine our behaviors with money. Our experiences with money and in life and with family determine what our goals are, and everyone's goals are different. A lot of people will ask, like, how much money do I need to retire? And that's dependent on a multitude of different things. the amount of money that you need to retire is going to be different from the amount of money that I need to retire, because we have different goals, we have different habits, we have different wants, we have different family situations. And so I do think that that's why you see me out in the community. I'm at a unique firm where I can work with the people that I want to work with, and I choose to support the people that I care about. And I would say that one of my problems as an FA is I never ask for the business, because it's more important for me to get to know you. And sometimes I do lose track of asking for the business because the person is way more important. And then once we go through discovery, whether you decide to work with me or not, I've built out a plan for you, and you take it with you. Best case scenario, we implement it together. Worst case scenario, you've left a little bit more educated and you have an idea of the steps that you need to take to get to where you want to be.
Here's a fact. The longer a website takes to load, the lower its conversion rate is. What you probably don't know is that a 1-second delay in a page load can result in a 7% reduction in conversions. And if you reduce a page load time by just 100 milliseconds, it results in over a 1% increase in conversions. Improving website speeds directly impacts lead gen, rankings, and overall sales. Are you complaining about your website's performance? Contact Name and Creative today at info@nameandcreative.com or visit our website at nameandcreative.com to learn how we make sure our clients' websites are running smooth.
That's awesome. And I think what I really like what you said, going back, you present the information. You have a issue, as you put it, or a problem asking for the business, but there are all sorts of ways to ask for the business, right? I'm at the point in my career now that when I take on a new client who's looking for a home, looking to refinance, whatever it may be, I'm looking at them very similarly to you. And that's why I love doing business and growing with you as well. We look at the client as a whole. We look at what their actual goals are. We look at 10 years into the future. We look at retirement and what they're going to need, and it's like you look at all that to see if they can take on the debt, and I think a lot of times just you talking and going through that, you're assuming the business. So by assuming the business, it's not like you have to be salesy and ask. Your approach is going to be humanizing, and yes, of course, we're going to go with you because you're leading them that way. So,
well, and I think we did this exercise, and I think it was with Roger at Edge Insights at one of my first meetings, and it was about creating your personal purpose statement. I believe it was with him, and it was take some time to think about what your personal purpose statement is, and then write it down. And I knew immediately what mine was, and mine was to connect people with people, ideas, and experiences that enrich their lives. And that could be working with me, but oftentimes it's, let me connect you with this organization that I think you'll really enjoy working with, or you've got to meet this person because you guys have similar goals, or he can help you get here, or she can help you get here. And I think it's just kind of a natural part of the business. I think it's why it led me here, because it's really one of the only careers I know of that is that relationship oriented, because we work with our clients sometimes for the rest of their lives. And I say, if you don't want to hear from me every few months, you cringe when you see my name on the caller ID, or I cringe when I see yours. It's not going to be a good relationship, because we're often the first people that our clients call when anything happens. A loss to the house. During hurricane, we had dozens of clients experience damage, medical issues, changes in family, thinking about getting divorced. Like we are there on the ground with them for all of these huge transitions. And if you have that kind of relationship with someone, it has to be built on trust, and you have to enjoy each other to some extent.
Absolutely. And then, with the trust and the connections that you make with all the people that you're helping comes their spheres of influences, and you do such a great job and you care so much that you're going to be able to build your business very quickly.
I just love people.
Yeah, you do. You
just love people. How many people can I meet in a day? And then, how can we deepen those relationships? Because like I said, I think I've been searching for community for a very long time, and I feel like I finally found it here in St. Pete. So, of course, I want to spend my career helping them reach their goals and better themselves and build generational wealth. I just kind of goes hand in hand. I love my job.
I love that.
I love it so much.
Extremely passionate. And that's what you need to be. Like, you need to be passionate if you're going to be dealing with people's money like you do. It's their finances, like everything you just said, and retirement, and how many people are out there that did not plan for this, and where are they at now, and can we still help them? And it's a lot. It's a lot. So, and it's amazing that you feel that way. You're going to be able to change a lot of people's lives because of it. And you've made a huge impact on a lot of people, including myself, a lot of people's lives in our community already, which is awesome. I think like one of the biggest impacts, and I think where I really met you was through Park, right? You're the president of the Next Gen board. I sit on that board. We've got a couple other friends that sit on that board.
A lot of people think that I work at Park. I have a rebranding. I have a branding problem right now. People think that I work at Park, but I don't hate it. I spend just as much time there as I do at my office, I'm sure.
Well, you love Park. You absolutely love Park. So for the audience, tell people what Park is.
So Park Center for Disabilities is an organization that has been around for 70 years. They're located near Tyrone Mall. They serve over 1,000 children and adults with developmental disabilities every year throughout the community. And they've got so many amazing programs. So we've got day programs for residents. They've got a children's services center that helps the children get on track to start kindergarten alongside their peers. They've got supported employment. They've got residential programs. It's a truly incredible organization. I think it comes back to the people. The people who run that show are amazing. Michelle Detweiler she's a gem. She's incredible.
Another way to say it, she is.
And you can see her passion in everything that she does, and it's true of everybody who works there. Lisa B, Lisa E, Brian, Kathy, and then the participants themselves. And I think what I love so much about Park is it's one of those organizations where you can see firsthand the people that you're impacting and the impact that you're having on them. Sometimes I just go over there for a smile. You're having a hard day. I just go over there. I buy some of Alex's art.
100%.
I say hi. I try to catch the choir practice. And it's just an incredible place to be, not only for us, but for the participants. And to see the impact. I mean, you were at 100 Good Guys. Mm-hmm. What was his name? Elijah and his family. They were amazing, by the way. Elijah and his family. So Elijah is part of the supported employment program. And so he's been working at Johns Hopkins. He actually just got approved for a mortgage, and he's going to be purchasing a home. Just those individual little things have a big impact. And it's one of those silent and invisible communities to some extent. And so for them to bring awareness to that community and to put so much love and care into them is just incredible.
It is.
There's no other place I'd rather be.
No, and you are extremely passionate about it, and you do so much. And I feel like this is what Eric Nutting would call payment for the soul, right? That's what this literally is. And I fell in love with Lisa Emery, who's in my L&L group with the Chamber. I love Lisa, and Lisa Blackburn I love. But Lisa had us volunteer at Park very early on in my Chamber experience. I felt like it brought us all closer together, and I felt like, it changed me. And I knew it was something I had to get involved in immediately, and I never looked back.
Okay.
I joined the Next Gen board, which you've sat on, and now you're the president of, which is awesome. So tell us a little bit about what we do as a board.
Yeah, so Park Next Gen is a group that was put together for the purposes of really just expanding the awareness of Park. I think what I hear over and over and over again when you ask people if they have heard of Park, they're like, oh, I've seen the buses. I live near the campus, but I have no idea what they do. So at its core, that's what the Park Next Gen Committee was built for, to just bring awareness to Park to a new community of people. And so we've been very grassroots for these. It's only been a year and a half since we started this thing.
It's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
And when we started it became very grassroots. It was how many people can we get on our distribution list just to get awareness. And I remember our first event, Battle of the Bay, I expected maybe 20 people to show up, and over 50 people showed up. And I think that's what's cool about Park Next Gen is it is also an opportunity for us to be able to engage with the small businesses locally. And we have events throughout the year, like the Battle of the Berg, happy hour fundraisers. We also try to do as many volunteer opportunities with Park, of which there are plenty. You could volunteer there weekly if you had the time and the want to. And this year, we've really been focusing on creating enriching experiences for the participants so that we can spend time with them and so that they can have a good time. And so that was kind of represented with our bowling event, not a tournament, an event, which we will do again next year. And then Battle of the Berg, it was supposed to be, our second was supposed to happen the day that Helene hit. So we will be rescheduling that for the end of the year. So it's kind of two-pronged. It's an opportunity to connect and meet with more people in the community, but also bring awareness to Park. And I think that the impact that our small little group has had on Park has already been very large. And I'm excited to see where we go.
I would say immense. And I would say that the bowling event was by far one of my favorites so far.
That was so fun.
It was amazing.
It was so good.
We had so many people there that we knew that came through. Tom Moore.
It was great. And
know?
Amanda Meyer of Moments of St. Pete, she came in and took pictures. So a lot of the pictures that you'll see on the Park and the Park Next Gen social media pages were taken by Amanda and given to us. She didn't ask for anything.
Headshot. She's lovely.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's doing we have an event at the end of the year where we're doing family photos for some of our clients, and she's going to be the photographer
for
that as well.
Heck yeah.
At the end of the year. It's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Time's funny now. 2 hurricanes. We don't know. I don't know.
I feel like
October.
The whole month of October just kind of
gone. Yeah. I put up the skeletons and the pumpkins in the yard anyway, though, because,
we got full-size candy bars coming.
Nice.
We're going to be the full-size candy bar house this year.
You guys do it right. You do it right.
I've never been able to do it before, and I'm excited.
We'll give you alcoholic beverages if you come over. We have a 21 and up table, and then we have a candy table for the kiddies. Oh. Not this year because, our house is under repair.
Okay, well, we can do it at my house
there
this
you
year.
Go. I'll
set it up.
Heck yeah. You're above sea level, so that'll be good. Awesome. No, so that's great. I mean, you do a ton with Park, which is amazing. I'm so happy to be involved. There is so much more coming up. We do have the Battle of the Bergs. We're going to reschedule that. That's coming up soon, which is going to be amazing as well. How can people get involved? So Park Center for Disability is around. We need a lot of help. We've got the Blues Fest coming up, which I've been talking to taking over, and Jazz Fest, Blues Fest.
Blues Fest, yeah.
Thank you, which will be awesome. But we have so many events. How do people get involved? How do people donate?
Yeah. The Park website, parc-fl.org. Is kind of the go-to stop for everything. On there, you'll find our Next Gen page. You can fill in a contact form and be added to our distribution list. So as we send out information about events, you can go to the Park distribution list as well. We're trying to make a centralized location for all the volunteer opportunities, but engaging with us on our social media pages, I think, is the best way to get the timely updates because they do so much all the time. I don't know how they do it all. And there's a constant need. So really just getting engaged. And I would say, first and foremost, schedule a tour. Like if you haven't been to Park
Absolutely.
yet, I could talk about it all day. I could tell you how much I love the people. I could sing the song for you. But if you don't go to Park, I promise you, if you go to Park, you take a tour. I know that you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
You will never
several times.
You will never turn back. Sometimes when I hear that people are going on a tour, I'm like, what time? I'll meet you. It's just go on a tour. It's amazing.
It's
and
amazing.
That you can do You could probably just send them a Facebook message and say, schedule a tour. You could reach out to Lisa Emery, of course, as well. Find us. I'll get it scheduled for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Social's the way to go. And also, any event coming up, they should follow you anyway, because like the Battle of the Berg or anything else that this Next Gen board does is a wonderful time to network with a ton of great people while raising money for Park. So just amazing that,
Battle of the Berg is going to be super cool too, because you've got Chris Arnold from Grand Central competing against Roger Curlin from Edge. I'm not going to tell you who my favorite to win is, but I think one of them is going to be a clear winner.
You just don't want to say it out loud. I get it. The attorney advises you not to. Understandable.
So I'm really excited to reschedule that one. Soon we'll have a date for that. And we also do holiday market. I didn't talk about that. They've got the Inspired Artist Studio at Park. And so the artists' canvases, sculptures, the artists are able to sell their art, and 50% of the proceeds go straight into their bank account, and then the rest is donated to Park. And so we're going to have our second holiday market as well, where you can kind of come and have a drink and network, but also buy your holiday gifts.
I love it. I bought 2 at the last one. I love them.
I just moved into a new office. I have an entire shelf of Alex sculptures.
I got
a monkey, a pumpkin, a palm tree.
I love it.
It's too good.
Who's Alex?
So Alex is a salesman like you've never met, and he's an incredible artist. He creates these little sculptures from memory. You can show him a picture, and then he will do it from memory, and he will also be able to tell you little fun facts about each of the animals. And so if you go to Park and you get a tour, there's a whole wall of his pieces, and every single time I'm there, I leave with a new one. It's so good, and they make the best gifts. And then I have a canvas. It's a flamingo with a Christmas hat on, so it's about time for me to put it back up.
Yes, it is. It's coming around the corner. It's unbelievable. Well, no, that is absolutely awesome. I mean, you do an absolute ton in the community, which is great. You've got a great attitude when it comes to growing your business and helping people. I absolutely love it. You and I have a little panel coming up in January, a little real estate and financial literacy panel, which I'm super stoked for.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I know how big you are on, and to bring it back to you never ask for the business. No, you educate and you lead. And the education is huge. People don't know what they don't know. And,
there's so many misconceptions about what we do too.
Absolutely. And this will give you a chance to help people understand how they can start building generational wealth by working with you and setting their futures up now. We'll have Bella Wood from Flagship Bank. She's going to be absolutely amazing as well. She's going to let you know if you need to open up any type of commercial line for your business or anything of that nature. She's a really, amazing banker. I've got 4 accounts with her. I love Bella. Very, very, very community-feeling bank when you walk in there. It's unbelievable. And, we have Steve Hertzfeld, who's been on the podcast last month. Keller Williams, real estate agent, but who just loves the community, plus more. So we're going to have a lot of great people on there. I think it's going to be a really educational thing. Right as rates are dropping. So I think we're going to be timing that pretty perfectly, But I'm going to hopefully have you back on. I think we just locked that down in December, actually, with Jake Moore from More Resource Insurance, another one of the panelists, to just talk a little more about the panel at that point for the following month. So super excited about that. Tell us, before we end, first off, tell us who you are again and how we can get a hold of you and all that great stuff.
Yeah. Who I am?
Yeah.
Okay. So
not metaphorically.
Once again, Alexis Guilbeau, Raymond James. Best way to contact me is email, social media. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I also do office hours, which the hurricane has kind of put a wrench in these last few weeks. So they've been postponed, but I do think next week I'm going to pick them back up. So every Friday morning, I'm at Sourdough Co. on Central Avenue from 10 to 11. And then every Tuesday afternoon, I'm at the Study in Kenwood from 4 to 5. Just kind of like a casual drop by. I just love, like I said, I love to meet new people. So kind of see how I work, meet me. That's kind of like a low stakes, fun way to do it.
I love that.
Grab a glass of wine and man, the jalapeno popper sandwich at Sourco.
Yeah.
I could eat that 5 times a week.
Absolutely. I love that place.
I missed it. I haven't been there in a while.
Oh, I know.
And, I'm used to going there 4 times a week, and I haven't been in probably 2.
Yeah, well, morning edition tomorrow. I think they're back
I
up and running.
do plan to be at morning edition tomorrow, yeah.
I will see you there. It's going to be the first one in a while, so it'll be nice.
And yeah, the topics that we've been talking about have been tremendously important. I think kind of it's just kind of survivor's guilt. What are the resources? You know, how to take care of yourself during this time, no matter how it panned out for you. So
absolutely. And I mean, there's a ton of support here for everybody. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. Like, we are all here to help each other in any time, even crisis. So yeah, I mean, awesome podcast. I really appreciate you being on it. I think we've got a lot of great stuff coming up in the future.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm so excited that we finally did this.
Heck yeah. 2
So
weeks in the
fun.
making.
Boom, boom.
Boom.
Any opinions are those of Alexis Guilbeau and not necessarily those of Raymond James. All opinions are as of this date and are subject to change without notice. Any information provided is for informational purposes only and does not constitute a recommendation. Investing involves risk and you may incur a profit or loss regardless of strategy selected. Raymond James is not affiliated with and does not endorse the opinions or services of PARC. Raymond James & Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange SIPC. 880 Carolyn Parkway, St. Petersburg, Florida 33716. Phone number 727-567-9499.